I'm gonna record this too. I don't know if this is good extras content, but it's fun to talk about. So I asked on X or Twitter or whatever the other day, if like there was any music that you look back on that you listened to at like a pretty young age, and now as an adult, you're just like, I didn't know what those words meant, or I didn't know what that was talking about, or I shouldn't have been listening to that at that age. Because majority of my audience is now older, and I kind of asked people what music groups or songs came to mind, and if there's anything that came back to their thinking with that. We got some pretty decent responses. I think the biggest one that we got multiple responses from people from was like Eminem, like listening to Eminem when they were like 11. I mean, some of those early albums, especially, were pretty crazy. I didn't actually listen to Eminem at that time. I found him maybe when I was like 18 or 19, so it was a little bit different. Okay. Semi-Charmed Life by Third Eye Blind. Yeah. I didn't know what that meant till way later in life. So I'm gonna tell you mine. A lot of this might surprise you. I think my music taste would surprise some of you guys. But I was like, I'm still an emo guy. Big, like, I love dark, aggressive, or sad music. I just do. Not all my music, but I do. And one of my favorite groups of all time, I don't know if they're emo, it's more so metal, is Atreyu. They're not that popular. They should be more popular, but Atreyu is one of my favorite artists of all time. Okay? And so they had an album that came out in 2002, so I was 9, called Suicide Notes and Butterfly Kisses. And I found out how, you guys remember the Napster days or like whatever. I found out how to download like full albums of music I liked. So if I'd hear one song, I just download all their discography, all their songs. And I remember I must have been like 12 or 13, and I downloaded all the albums I could from Atreyu. And with that came the lyrics. It was like the download would give you the lyrics and a notepad. And half of them, that was all screaming, because they started singing a bit more in their later albums. They've got some bangers. We'll talk about that. But I didn't even know what they were saying half the time. And I grew up in a very religious family. Very religious. And my parents found the downloads. They listened to the songs, and it was a bunch of screaming. And then they read the lyrics. I never read the lyrics, but the lyrics were literally right there for them. Let me just read off some of the song titles for the early albums for this group, just to give you an idea, okay? This isn't even the lyrics of the song, okay? Living Each Day Like You're Already Dead. Deanne the Arsonist. Someone Standing on My Chest. Bleeding Mascara. This Flesh is a Tomb. My personal favorite, 5 Vicodin chased with a shot of clarity. Like, it doesn't get much better. And a lot of the lyrics are very, very, very dark, dude. I got in so much trouble. And I mean, I kind of understand it now. Like, I'm not as religious as my parents are now, right? But like, let me make sure the game's getting set up. I could totally understand why they wouldn't want their 12-year-old son listening to Living Each Day Like You're Already Dead. Some of the lyrics are brutal, dude. So anyways, on that note, they've got some absolute bangers. Like, everyone should go listen to X's and O's by Atreyu right now if you've never heard it. Oh, so good. They still is one of my favorite groups of all time. And I just was thinking about that as I was listening to it. And I asked a bunch of people, was curious to hear people's thoughts. So someone says, I'm going to a Dying Fetus show in my parents' town soon, and I'm not sure I should tell them their name. Yeah, don't tell your parents you're going to a concert. I don't think my parents would want to know the name there. I listen daily to X's and O's. Yeah, me too. It's a great song. As a kid, I feel like you don't really think about lyrics. Yeah, I didn't personally. I didn't really listen to lyrics when I was younger. I'm sure everyone was the same. But yeah, if you guys like metal or you know, like want to hear a song from Atreyu, the best intro song for them is probably X's and O's. They have songs I actually like more. But yeah. That was my group. I didn't listen to anything that was like there are other examples. Early Avenged Sevenfold, like I looked at the age I was listening to Avenged Sevenfold, some of their songs. I'm like, I was 13, 14 years old. So all of a sudden I started liking T90 a whole lot more. Nice. We got good music. You got similar music taste. So, well, we're going to start this game soon. They're starting. Cool. Nice. Okay, Q&A for like a minute or two, and then we'll get in. Because as you know, spec delay. Do you like Nightwish, T90? I don't love them. I know a couple of their songs. Five Finger Death Punch? I do like Five Finger Death Punch. It's not a group that I like listen to their whole discography or listen to that much, but I will tell you, if you like Five Finger Death Punch, dude, I would love to do a stream where we just talked about music, by the way. I would love it. Just go through the years and different genres, like, for as sheltered as I am when it comes to movies, as you guys know, I'm the opposite with music. There's a group called Flat Black. If you like Five Finger Death Punch, I think their like guitarist started it. Again, it's hard. A lot of you guys might not like this stuff. It's got, you know, screaming and whatnot. I don't know where you guys are on that. But It's Your Lack of Respect by Flat Black. Whew, really, really freaking good. But typically I'm listening to like metal or punk. That's the majority of my listening, and then I will occasionally, I can go different directions with a lot of genres. Like, I would immediately lose a lot of points if I told chat that I will occasionally listen to country music. Some of you guys would be like, oh, he's the worst. But there's a time and a place for me, right? Like if I'm back home in Pennsylvania, where I grew up, when, you know, the middle of nowhere with a campfire or like driving to a cabin or something, that's where country's good. That's where, you know, do you like Nickelback? That's a dangerous thing. How many subs would I lose if I said I like Nickelback? I actually do like some Nickelback songs. They've got some bangers, dude. They're not my favorite artist ever. I think Nickelback is just easy for people to meme on. I think they got memed on way too hard. It just became cool to hate Nickelback, but they actually have some great music. Even if you don't love them, you have to agree that it just became cool to hate Nickelback at a certain point, and everyone kind of fell into that. Yeah, dude. If you go back and go listen through their songs, you'd be surprised how many really good songs they have.